Good afternoon, everyone. We're just going to give it a second to let the waiting room clear. Please make sure you're muted as you enter. Okay, and we're going to get started. Good afternoon. This is a hearing before the Boston Cannabis Board, the BCB. Today is October 22nd, 2025. Today's hearing is being conducted pursuant to amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review some procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Jasmine. Good afternoon. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Cannabis Board. Today, I'm also joined by Commissioner Lisa Holmes, Commissioner John Smith, Commissioner Jack Kenslaw, Commissioner Sonal Gandhi, and Commissioner Ramon Soto.
Thank you, Chairwoman Joyce. My name is Jasmine Nguyen, and I am the Boston Cannabis Board Manager. We are also joined by Luke Santos, who is our Cannabis Licensing Specialist. While the public is encouraged to attend, there will be no additional public testimony accepted. I will read each item into the record as they appear on the agenda. We will then hear comments from the board members. I will then ask if there is a motion, if there's questions to the motion, and then there'll be a vote. Each board member has the ability to grant with conditions, defer, reject without prejudice, which means the applicant can return anytime with an application at the same location, or reject with prejudice, which means the applicant cannot reapply at the same location for 1 year. The first item we have, the licensee is Roster Roots LLC, doing business as Roster Roots. The license premise is at 21 Broad Street downtown. They have a marijuana retailer license, and they're requesting an amendment to their hours. The current hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Their proposed hours are 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. Do any of the commissioners have any comments?
I'll start. I think this is a good location that can support this request for an extension of hours, so I have no issues with it.
Any other comments from the commissioners? No? Chair Joyce, is there a motion? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, just a quick comment. I hear the concerns from some of the abutters about some of the, opening it late night and some of the disturbances, but I think the fact that it is an area with a lot of other nightlife and numerous bars and restaurants that are already open late without many complaints kind of makes it seem like it shouldn't be as much of a concern as some people believe it could be.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Chair Joyce, is there a motion?
Sure, I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? Commissioner Smith, all in favor? And none opposed. Commissioner Soto, oh, there you go. Thank you. All right. So the amendment to change the hours is granted as requested. All right. We're now going to move to our new license applications. The first one we have is Josh's One Stop LLC. The proposed license premise is 323A Washington Street in Dorchester. They are applying for a marijuana retail license. The proposed hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. And this is an equity applicant, and there is a buffer zone conflict. We'll start with comments from the board members, beginning with Chairwoman Joyce.
Thanks, Jasmine. I believe you shared that their community meeting is next week.
Yes.
I would be inclined to defer our vote on this until after the community meeting. I think that's a really important piece here.
Okay. Is there a second, or does any of the commissioners want to have comments before we go to a vote, or we're just going to go to a vote?
A second.
Okay, second. All in favor? All right. So this will be deferred until the applicant completes the community process, which I believe their final meeting is October 28th, which is next Tuesday. So we are not meeting in November, so we will put this on our December voting agenda. The next item we have, the applicant is Oasis of Tranquility, Inc. The proposed license premise is 51 to 55 Fairmont Ave in Hyde Park. They are applying for a marijuana retailer, a delivery courier, and product manufacturer's license. The proposed hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 days a week. This is an equity applicant, and there is a buffer zone conflict. We'll begin with comments from the commissioners, beginning with Chairwoman Joyce.
Thanks, Jasmine. When this application before me, when this application came before me and I was reviewing it, I was really cheering for this applicant. I think she's a very strong businesswoman who's put an incredible amount of time and thought, not just into this proposal, but her other proposals that have come before us. So my comments are more about the location and not about the applicant, because I do appreciate how seriously she's taken all of our feedback from the board and also from the community. That being said, I don't think this particular location works for cannabis retail use. I think the parking and traffic challenges are really significant, and in my view, they really can't be fixed. Not because the applicant didn't try hard enough and didn't try to come up with alternative plans, but because there's some real physical limitations with this area and the site itself. I'm also concerned about its location next to the many youth-focused programs and the theaters. And while technically they don't fall all within the school buffer zone ordinance, I do think they have great impacts. I think the impacts would be felt along within those communities. And then lastly, the strong opposition. Opposition, I take into consideration not just the amount of opposition, but the type of opposition and what they're actually opposing. And this was real strong opposition from a neighborhood that wants to see activation in this area, but a different kind of activation. They want something that supports the other businesses that are already there. And I think their opposition reflected real concerns about this type of use at this location. So again, going over the score sheet, I wasn't able to get to something that could be an approval. I'm curious what other commissioners thought. And again, I would really like to work with this applicant on her other locations that she's attempting to open at too, because I really do think she would bring a lot to the cannabis community in Boston if we could help her find a place that the location worked for her and for the community. And those are my comments.
Thank you. Commissioner Kinsler?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just like obviously the volume alone of the opposition isn't the only consideration, but I think it was something that struck me, and the fact that there are all the community and youth focused organizations nearby, and that the representatives of those organizations were speaking out so strongly against it, as well as the city councilor for the area kind of voicing those concerns as well. I think, if there were something to be moved forward in this location, it would have to be with a lot stronger support from the people around it who have organizations in the area and live in the area that we just didn't see.
Thank you. Commissioner Holmes?
My sentiments echo exactly what the chairwoman said. I think this applicant is a strong business person and puts together a really strong presentation, but having worked in that area and know that area like the back of my hand, I agree. The traffic, the Riverside, youth place being right next door, the Menino Daycare Center right down the road. Actually, the Boston Police Academy is at the top of the street. So, I mean, her business proposal is impeccable. It's just the location. So I hope there's something we can do to help her find a location that's going to benefit her business, because she has put in an awful lot of hard work in these proposals.
Thank you. Commissioner Gandhi?
Thanks, Jasmine. I'm going to echo what the chairwoman said and my fellow commissioner said as well. I think I take very seriously some of the locational concerns with the youth around the location. I will say I don't think parking is the responsibility of one business, but I do think given the other uses in that area, plus the significant amount of opposition based on some of the traffic impacts and parking impacts, I agree with what the previous comments. I think that the proponent is a very strong proponent, and I wish her a lot of success in her business, but at a location that makes a lot of sense as far as impacts and ensuring that she has a successful business in the next location.
Commissioner Soto?
Thanks, Jasmine. Yeah, I want to just echo the comments. And as a resident of Hyde Park and someone who drives through that road every single day, it's just it is very much feels like a square peg in a round hole, where there is support for this type of business and activity, but it needs to be incorporated within the fabric of the community in order for it to be successful. I think part of the role of this board is to sort of ensure that the community's concerns and approval or not should be heard. And I think we've heard that loud and clear, and incorporated that, at least for me, incorporated that in kind of the direction of my thoughts around this proposal. And I do want to echo the comments of my other commissioner colleagues that it's not about the proposal, right? But the parking and the ability for consumer, what do you call it? Folks who are coming to the business to be able to access the business, to be able to park, I think is an essential part of the business plan. And just based on the activity in the area, the traffic being impeded on a regular basis during those high peak traffic hours, I just think it's a really tough location to make a business like this successful, as well as make it meld into the fabric of the community. So with that, I yield. Thanks, Jasmine.
Thank you. Commissioner Smith?
Thanks, Jasmine. I'm going to be repetitive. I think the location makes it difficult, so I agree with the rest of my commissioners. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Chair Joyce, is there a motion?
My motion is to reject the application with prejudice.
Okay, which means that the applicant cannot reapply at this location for 1 year. Is there a second? All right, all in favor? Commissioner Kinsley?
I would say reject without prejudice.
Reject without prejudice. All right.
Would be my vote, yeah.
Is your vote? Okay, so sorry, let's do it again. Reject with prejudice, which means the applicant cannot apply for more than 1 year. All right. Commissioner Smith? All right, so that's 5 against 1. All right, so the motion carries. This applicant is rejected with prejudice, which means the applicant cannot reapply at the same location for 1 year. It'll be noted that Commissioner Kinsley voted to reject without prejudice. Okay. Those are all the matters before the board today. Our next hearing will take place on December 10th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Thank you all for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.